Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industry for generations with its cult following. That's right, hold on tight, spider monkeys, we're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In this episode, we'll be discussing Book 4, Breaking Dawn, chapters 1 through 7, where it seems like Bella and Edward are going to get happily ever after until they get some very surprising news.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the other seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
Okay, speaking of happily ever afters, the crazy thing about the first section of this book is it's supposed to be the ending of a book. You know what I mean? Usually people don't start books with weddings and honeymoons. It does happen. But the funny thing is that this is supposed to be Bella and Edward's happily ever after. Like, this was their end game. Like, they wanted to get married. She wanted to become a vampire. That's it. And she really wanted to have sex. We are so close to being there, right? And yet the beginning of this book is the setup for the craziest, in my opinion, the craziest book in the Twilight series.
Oh, yeah.
But usually that stuff is exciting. And just like Edward, it's a dud. So we needed more afterwards to fully finish the end. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We're going to have to talk about how much of a dud as we get into these chapters. But why don't we start at the very beginning with the preface and the quote that, of course, Stephanie Meyer loves she loves a quote and she loves a preface.
Yeah, I said from the very beginning, from book 1, we did not need a preface. And so, of course, in this book, she gave us 3.
Which, are you fucking kidding me? Did this book have to be broken up into, quote unquote, 3 different books?
Apparently.
I don't really understand the reasoning for it. There might have been a good reasoning in their mind for breaking it up into these chunks, but I'm not quite sure I get the reasoning for it.
Yeah.
When they could have just done the different POV thing.
Yeah. And why each book needs a table of content. Oh, wait, sorry, Jacob didn't get one. But Bella's 2 books get their own special table of contents. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Despite being a major character in the series, his only section, well, not only section, but his whole section doesn't even get a table of contents, I guess. I wonder if it's just one chapter.
And his preface is like 3 words long.
She really hates Jacob, huh?
God.
But really hates him.
But yeah. Also, she has like, you can tell in the quote and in the preface that she has this fascination with martyrdom, with dying for your loved one. And I keep remembering this quote from Buffy. And I know in context, she was about to try to die for someone, but she told that someone, the hardest thing to do in this world is to live in it. And to live for me, that's the hard part. And
yeah,
I know Joss Whedon wrote it and he's an asshole, but I mean, he may not have written it. I don't know. I have to go check the writing credits on that episode.
We're going to say that he didn't write it because fuck him.
But that has always stuck with me ever since it aired. I was just like, damn, living is the hard part. Living for someone is harder than just dying for them.
I agree.
Yes, is from on Hamilton, the Broadway soundtrack. Same thing. Dying is easy, living is harder.
Yes. If Johann were here, he would be screaming the song. He's still, to this day, he'll just break out into a Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, yes.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. But anyway.
Right?
Back to the quote. I see that both of us, Brittany, we put our own thoughts a little bit on the quote, which is, it's from a poem by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I'm sure I butchered her name, Millay. And the quote says, childhood is not from birth to a certain age, and at a certain age the child is grown and puts away childish things. Childhood is the kingdom where nobody dies. And she takes that from the beginning of the poem and puts it into the book. And by the way, if you've ever read that poem, it's like incredibly sad and sobering. And it's just about how, like, when you're a child, or this is my take on it, like when you're a child, innocence is knowing that you're not going to lose the things around you. And like growing up is knowing grief, essentially, is how I see it.
Which, as somebody who lost their innocence pretty young, I disagree with this. I mean, you can lose your innocence and still be a child. I was definitely still a child.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of children, one, experience death when they're very young, and then two, experience the phenomenon of growing up before they've physically done so.
Yes. And then, you also have adults who re-find their childhood. Doesn't mean that we don't know that we found our innocence again. It's just I feel like childhood is in a way where it's your innocent, but also it's the freedom to just feel and have fun and do the things that make you laugh.
But I think that, at least in the case of the poem, I think that what the author, I could be wrong, but I think that what the poet is trying to say is that death, as an example, is one of the things that separates us from other people. And when you're a child, you don't feel that sense of, I'm alone in this feeling, I'm alone in the world, as much as you would as you grow old and experience things. Now, that's obviously like painting a broad stroke, but people know that when you're very, very young and you're a child, you literally don't understand things in the same way that you would as an adult. And so I think it's a metaphor that I think Meyer is trying to use to say that Bella is becoming a different person by making the choice that she's making. I just don't know if it's the best quote for it.
That's what I think. She's a little obsessed with death, like I said.
She's definitely obsessed with, like you said, martyrdom. Giving up your life for somebody or living your life for somebody.
It almost feels through Bella and what we've seen from her and the quotes and prefaces and whatever, that's the only way that Stephanie Myers can say, like, this is true love. If you are, ready to die, then you've truly loved somebody.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a stunt. Again, I think I've said this before too. It feels like a stunted growth, a stunted outlook on how love is supposed to work and how a relationship is supposed to work.
In a very like fantastical version of love, like Romeo and Juliet, kind of. Which, speaking of fantastical, why did we open up this fucking book with her driving, with this scene with Bella in her new fucking car? And why is Stephanie Meyer so obsessed with expensive cars?
Oh my God.
Okay, so y'all know that I read 50 Shades of Grey, and we all know that was originally Twilight fan fiction. But this is where I see Christian Grey.
I could see that totally.
And Christian was obsessed with fancy, fast, not really fast, but safe cars as well. And just as a writer, not that I'm published or anything, but like just as somebody who studied writing, this scene is utterly useless. It
does feel that way.
It does not. Yeah, it doesn't add to her character.
It just makes you hate her.
It doesn't add to the plot. It's nothing. I would have much rather started out this book actually getting to see the scene where she and Edward told her dad or her mom about it instead of her reminiscing about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, if you're going to fucking go to the trouble of giving her like some sort of awesome car, don't fucking make it a Mercedes. Is she fucking 90 years old? No. If you're going to do it, let's go with something cool, like a Skyline or something. Agree. Not a fucking Mercedes. Same way.
Like, I was like, a Mercedes? But I guess, I mean, a Mercedes Guardian? But
I looked it up. I don't think there ever existed a car called the Guardian.
Yeah. It just sounded like a hummered up Mercedes. Like you could drive it into a battlefield. But what the fuck are you
protection system or something like that.
I wonder if I'm thinking of another car that I looked up because I was looking up Edward's car at some point. So maybe I'm thinking of that.
And BMW, they make personal security vehicles that are bulletproof and whatnot, they do not make cars that can survive war zones. They do not.
Well, and how do they drive on the snow? Because I realized that the bullets can't go through, but if her ass is parked upside down in a ditch.
To be fair, this is August.
Still not good.
It ain't gonna be snowing. Well, she gets an after the wedding car.
Does she get a winter car then?
Yeah.
Why does she need a car? She can
all
run fast.
have cars that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this is my point. Like, why is she obsessed with fast cars or expensive cars?
Well, she is him.
She's not. He is.
Stephanie Meyer is.
She wanted her truck. She wanted her truck, but he broke it. Like we've talked about before, he takes the things that she loves that are connected to her, that define her in a way, and then he breaks them.
So right. And
to become what he
that's
wants.
literally true.
Yeah. I loved how you stated that in the notes because I was like, you know what? You are so very right. He literally takes everything about her and just either breaks it or tries to change it.
What else are we thinking of?
Her relationship with Jacob.
Right? Although Jacob kind of did that himself as well.
To be fair, yes. Then there was her birthday, him pushing the birthday party and the gifts and whatnot.
Yeah, good example.
Her wanting to be a vampire, him wanting her to be human.
Yeah, I really don't like that he mysteriously killed her truck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how quote unquote unsafe it is. Some things just are. She has to be able to make her own decisions sometimes.
At some point, she's got to be an adult.
Wait till she has vampire abilities and she can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
How about that?
Then what are you going to do, Edward? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so. But we got the scene where Charlie is informed that they're getting married in a flashback, which Charlie immediately assumes that she's pregnant. And honestly, my dad would as well. Yeah.
Prego.
I love that Charlie just absolutely loses his mind. Also, we learned that Bella has been checking up with the Clearwater residents because Seth is the only person that will really talk to her, and she's been trying to figure out what's happened to Jacob, who's been missing for, I think, around 2 months.
Yeah. And Charlie is obsessed with finding him. I want to know why Charlie is obsessed with Jacob. Just altogether.
In all fairness, he is a police officer.
He is, but technically the reservation is not his jurisdiction.
Right, and he seems more interested in finding Jacob than he did when Bella disappeared to another country.
But I don't know, I didn't really think it was that odd. I do think that if I were in Charlie's shoes, I would find it really odd that Billy's dad, or that Billy was not as fucking freaked out as he is, though.
If I was Charlie, I would think that Billy knew where Jacob was, and the way that Charlie knew that Bella had run off back to Phoenix in book 1.
But that's the thing. Charlie knew. I mean, not Charlie. Billy knew.
But Billy wasn't telling
Billy knew
Charlie
he was safe. He just wasn't coming home. Right. But why wouldn't he just say, yeah, he ran off. We kind of know where he is. He's fine. He'll come back. I mean, Why make it sound like
I
he's
think
missing?
that's Charlie. I don't think
seems so
Billy made him
stupid.
sound like he was stupid. Or, I mean, missing. I mean, kind of did. But, well. But it just, I think that's Charlie being obsessive over Jacob all the time. Bella, why don't you forgive Jacob? Bella, why don't you date Jacob? Bella, why don't you go see Jacob? Bella, Bella, Bella. Jacob.
I guess somebody had to be on Jacob's side because, I mean, if you think about it, Stephanie Meyer has written so much to make him the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few characters that are supportive of Jacob in this moment besides sometimes Bella.
Yeah, and Seth.
And Seth. That's
because
true.
Seth is the best.
Yes,
He is. But she checks in. Seth is like, yeah, he's okay. He's alive. And then we find out that it is the night before the wedding, I believe, when she checks in with Seth, right?
I think so, because then they talk about the bachelor party later, right?
Yes.
That night.
So Edward's upstairs, and they're canoodling, and Emmett and Jasper are coming and get him.
Which also, I have to point out that both of y'all pointed out that he was called an archangel in chapter 1. And
he was.
He got downgraded to angel in chapter 2. I was like, what did he do? But
here we go again with the angel verbiage.
Yeah. The thing that really got on my nerves when I was listening to this on the audiobook, she says, at least if I had to be bundled up, Edward's shirt was on the floor. I never got over the shock of how perfect his body was. White, cool, and polished as marble. And the emphasis on white in the audiobook had me opening the actual physical book to see if it was in all caps or bold or italics or something, because it stood out that much.
Wow. They make him sound like a fucking countertop.
I was like, her idea of perfection is white, cold, and hard. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's the countertop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I caught that. You know, I actually listened to some of this book as opposed to read the physical book. I was like going back and forth this time, but yeah, I don't think I caught that. And see, that's why I like to read it, is I notice things a little bit more when I physically read it. But it's so gross to me to think about.
Well, to me, I mean, and I could be wrong, but to me, it felt like the narrator emphasized white.
Yeah. Another thing that we get out of this conversation is Edward actually brings up having a baby with her for the first time. And I did not realize it wasn't Bella who brought it up. It's actually Edward. And he's like lamenting the fact that they can't. And I never noticed that before.
I think this is exceptionally cruel. Why would you be like, yeah, I know that I can't get you pregnant, but I'm taking away a baby from you. First of all, if she really wanted a baby, you can adopt. Second of all, if she really wanted a baby with you and you throwing it in her face that she can't, that is something she's going to have to give up. That's cruel.
Well, Edward loves to just, moan about what he can and can't be. That's like his thing.
And
I think somebody like Edward wouldn't want to adopt. I can see someone like him putting an emphasis on the genes.
Yeah.
Or some stupid crap like that.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, the other thing is that he is bemoaning this and didn't even ask Bella, did you want a baby?
He doesn't care.
No, he just
Her
assumes.
opinion means nothing.
That got on my nerves. I was just like, you're going to assume that just because she's a woman, she wants a baby and you're taking this away from her. And even you're moping. Like, he doesn't even brood properly. It's more whining.
Yeah, he's not an angel brooder.
He's not an angel brooder. Angel can brood pretty well. Edward's brooding just reminds me of a 2-year-old having a tantrum.
Yeah, he's kind of infuriating, which it was perfect timing for Emmett and Jasper to come and whisk him away because they were like, you need a reality check. And I love that Bella's like, what are you going to be doing? Hoping that they don't have some kind of crazy night, as if Edward ever fucking would. And then Emmett's like, don't tell her anything.
The bachelor party is literally them going hunting, which they do every other day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a bachelor party. I'm sorry. That's a night out.
I hope they did something fun.
And kind of fucked
real.
up to use that as like a fun celebratory time to kill little poor innocent animals. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Also, where the hell was Bella's bachelorette party?
None.
Not even
Doesn't get
not
one.
even a slight mention of it.
Which you would think that'd be something that Alice would force upon her,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
At this point, you would think that Alice would be like, obviously we have to have one.
I get that she's only she's 18, right?
Yeah.
And technically legally can't drink, but I feel like you should at least have one drink before you get married.
Well, first of all, Stephanie Meyer is Mormon, so not going to happen. And second of all, do Mormons not have bachelorette parties?
That would be
I
depressing.
could see that being.
Well, I could see for Alice it
the
being like a
case.
paint your nails parties or something like that. That
Yeah.
would be her version of
Yeah.
a bachelorette, like prettying yourself up for the next day and not so much living
Yeah,
it up.
I agree with you.
Until you're
when
stuck.
my sister-in-law got married, she took her entire wedding party, her side of it, to go get our nails done. And that wasn't the bachelorette party, but we had things like that to do together. And I feel like we get to see nothing of that. Nothing of that.
Yeah.
Does she even have any bridesmaids?
She has Alice, right?
I guess so.
I'm not
Is it
going to
just
lie.
Alice?
The
Okay.
wedding part bored me, and I kind of fast tracked through it a little bit.
It was a
So-
little dull.
A little.
There were, yeah. There was a few things. There was a few things to take away from it. We do meet the Denali clan, which I do think we can talk about them a little bit just to give a little background on them. But other than that, I feel like it's a lot of just describing what the fuck a wedding is, which
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you, Bella. I'm so happy for you, Edward, but I don't need to read that. We could have had longer scenes in the book for important things. Cut out the beginning with the fucking car. Cut out the majority of the wedding scene. You know what I
Yeah, the
mean?
honeymoon.
I thought it was pertinent that we get Renee and Charlie's reactions, like before, kind
Yeah.
of. Those are important to their characters. Charlie is obviously very quietly emotional about her getting married. And then Renee is like super accepting of it, which pisses Charlie off.
Also, with Renee being super accepting of it, Bella's whole, I grew up knowing that marriage was a bad thing because that's what my mother thinks and blah, blah, blah. And her mother is super accepting of it. And yet she's still kind of like, So literally that's not the reason, Bella. You just want to blame it on, my mother made mistakes getting married young. So
Yeah, she's still really nervous to like go through with it. But what kind of bothered me about it was when she gets to the altar and she's like looking at Edward, she's like mesmerized and she's like, okay, maybe this isn't that bad of a thing. And that kind of bothered me because I was
That's
like,
the marriage you want.
well, because it was just like immediately you're okay with it now. What?
Because of how
I don't
he
know.
looks,
I mean,
again,
I guess obviously she wouldn't be marrying him if she wasn't somewhat okay with
she
it. But
literally
I
is
just-
starved for sex so badly that she is willing to marry him to get him in the sack.
I mean, yeah.
I hope he is
You know
worth
how many
it.
people do that? A lot. In
the
fact, that's why divorce rates are very high, I'm sure.
only real thing I had to say about the wedding is after they say their vows or whatever and they have to do the kiss. And apparently it goes on for so long that people are
That everyone's
tittering
like,
and clearing their throats and stuff. And usually, when you clear your throat, it's because you're uncomfortable. But literally, they're smashing their faces together. It's still not a real kiss because, like, he can't open his mouth at all. It's like a peck. It's like,
And she's just licking all over that, right?
oh my God.
It's like one of those comedies where the girl is like licking all over the guy, and it's like
and
Airplane
I'm
or
just
something.
like, I'm sorry. When you think about a wedding kiss, you kind of picture like the guy dipping the girl, kind of passionate, or a deep
Or like
kiss. It
ours.
doesn't even have to.
Quick kiss. Okay, let's see.
It doesn't.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I'm saying it doesn't even have to involve tongue. It's just it's not a like okay, bye.
I cannot
I'm
remember
sorry,
my
I
kiss.
just-
Actually, I mean, I say that, but I actually cannot remember I don't think it was
it
that
doesn't
long.
have to be long. It doesn't have to be. It just
Yeah.
there needs to be. I don't know, the way it's picturing to picturing in my mind is two little rocks going like this at each other.
Just clank, 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 clank.
It's one rock and a softie. Like, it's not two rocks. It would be like the rock and then the salt lick and then the deer that's like licking the salt lick.
Salt lick.
For me, a kiss is the movement of lip on each other. There's tenderness. I don't know.
Well, that's the problem with the fucking writing, is that canonically they're not supposed to be moving. But I know that, she wants us to imagine them like normal people, but they're not. They're not. They're vampires.
And I'm sorry, but if I were in the audience and I witnessed that, I'd be giggling too, because I'd be like, this is the most fucked up kissing I've ever witnessed.
Oh my God. Or at least Edward's a vampire, but...
Oh my God.
And
he's so stiff and not in the right places.
Like getting a peck on the cheek and then it lasting forever. And then she's like, oh, this peck on the cheek was so great that I lose my breath and I want to faint.
She's like, oh my God, it was so good.
Oh my God.
I've got the fake puss. But yeah, no, that's what my mind was picturing through this entire thing was just...
Back up. I do want to mention this. This is before she goes down the altar and everything. Before she goes down the altar, she has to do the something old, something new, something blue, whatever. Something borrowed, something
His
blue.
balls.
Something old? Is that what you're talking about?
Old, borrowed, blue.
Old and blue.
It fits for all three. Anyway, so Renee and Charlie give Bella these combs that have sapphires in them, which I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
From reading it or from the movie.
Also,
and then
since when can a police chief and a kindergarten teacher afford... Did I say a police chief? A chief of police, there goes my dyslexia. A chief of police and a kindergarten teacher afford multiple sapphire stones to put on two different combs.
Who knows? But they managed to do it. And then the crazy part is Alice giving her a garter and then saying, "That's mine, I want it back." In front of Charlie and Renee, by the way. She is supposed to be 17, 18 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
In front of Charlie, didn't bat an eye. Not a single fuck was given. I was like, I cannot remember her giving her this in front of everybody and nobody saying a fucking word.
Yeah. I was just like, we're just going with the flow, apparently.
I was like, okay.
17-year-olds get married on a daily basis. That's perfectly
I was
normal.
Just like,
and to your foster brother.
I was about to say, with your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you're giving your garter, which was on your thigh, to your sister-in-law, where your other brother is going to use his teeth generally to pull it off.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
well, it gets more fucked up once we get to the little Humpa Island. So that was some. Yeah. There's some problems. There are some.
Okay. So, before we move on to the conversation with Jacob, I did want to briefly mention the Denali clan, if that is okay.
Before we get to them, I just wanted to lament that I kind of hated that Emmett didn't get to perform the ceremony.
Agreed. I really wanted that. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you could have cut out all that wedding bullshit, and I would have enjoyed reading Emmett's ceremony.
No offense to Angela's dad or
funny.
anything, but yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the things that Bella wanted? She was like, that would have made the wedding ceremony better.
Why the fuck was the Denali clan there anyways?
Their family.
After what they did, no, they left them high and dry.
Just Serena.
When the army of toddler vampires came in.
Vampires.
Okay, Okay, there were.
Newborns.
Somewhere there was a mention of toddler vampires. I think when they were talking about the olden times or whatever.
But they're different.
When people were biting. And I would like to point out that I was correct. And maybe that's where I came in because there were a bunch of toddler vampires running around biting people because they were so cute. People try to hug them and then they're like,
there's a difference.
Sorry.
They're different things, though. They're different things. So yes, toddler vampires exist and they're outlawed, but newborn vampires are not toddler vampires.
Right, but there were newborn toddler vampires as well.
Okay, touche. Speaking of newborn toddler vampires, the reason that the Denali clan exists is because Sasha, the original matriarch of the Denali clan, turned Tanya Katrina.
I thought they said they couldn't remember her name. Is that from the illustrated guide? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So their original matriarch / quote unquote mother, her name was Sasha, and she's the one who transformed Tanya, Katrina, and Irina. And it was because originally she wanted a companion. I think Tanya was the first to be turned. And then I believe it was Katrina and then Irina that followed. I might be mistaken about that. But they were all turned around, quote unquote, the 1000s AD in Slovakia, which is interesting time because they said that apparently this was a Proto-Slavic people. This was the Middle Ages, like early Middle Ages. So I don't think they were very uncivilized, if that makes sense. There was full-on civilization happening for a while now. I don't know enough about the Slavic people, but they're all from Slovakia. And apparently the two things that stand out to me were, one, Katrina has the ability to cause a painful electric shock from touch. And this is because she was originally a bodyguard / attendant for a highborn woman in what the illustrated guide says was a warlike tribe of the Proto-Slavic people, and she was well trained in the martial arts of her people, which
translates to electricity.
Yes, I'm not sure if that is even slightly historically accurate. I don't know much about the Nordic peoples or the Slavic peoples, but it sounds like it doesn't make sense.
Fucked up.
It doesn't. I mean, just knowing Stephenie Meyer's track record with what we discussed before about the Volturi, I'm sure it doesn't make any sense, but who knows?
She probably went, this sounds cool.
Literally. And
oh my God.
The other thing is that apparently the Denali clan, they were originally not vegetarian for hundreds of years. And they were like seducing human men for fun.
They were the original succubus.
Yes, that is supposedly where the human legend for succubi come from, according to Stephenie Meyer in this world.
What do you mean
So
freezing?
I thought that was kind of I just thought it was funny that they were like seducing human men, because I hope that they're not having sex with those human men, because if they are, then how is it working?
That weenie up there.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, I never thought about that. How does that work?
It wouldn't.
Because
maybe if they drink enough, though, they would be warm.
I'm pretty sure that they do have sex with them.
That's what I was thinking too, because they're succubus. So it must
Could
be
you use
really
like a warm douche before?
Girl, I don't know.
I'm sure. I'm sure you could.
It's but creative.
They had to do something up there because it sounds so unpleasant.
I mean, it's like it's a cold shower for the guy, right?
I mean, listen, temperature play is fine, but that is beyond. It's like sticking your weenie in like an ice cube.
I don't think guys like temperature play as much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's kind of a works both ways thing.
But
Yeah.
also, since all the bodily fluids in your body are venom, if you stick your dick in a female vampire, does that venom kind of get in?
I thought it was like a closed
I don't
off, like
know.
a marble cave. Like there's nothing in there. But that's where you could use the warm douche and like squish it up there, and that way it's nice and warm.
If it's a warm cave, then does the female not get wet?
I don't think
That's
so.
gotta be really
Otherwise,
painful.
eat his dick off.
Yeah, well,
but it would eat his dick off. It'd be venom.
Well, to be fair, they killed all of those men, so they probably were like a few minutes into it, and then they were like, okay, well, he's not going to like it anyway, so time to kill him. So you're welcome for that information.
Damn. Welcome to our podcast where we talk about how men can have sex with female vampires who are ice cold and barren and dry as mofo. So
Marble caves.
Marble caves.
Which actually would probably be kind of slick feeling, though. I think they'd be like dry and catch, you know?
I don't know why, but that sounded so nasty to me.
Well, if it's marble and slick, then it goes in and out real nice, you know? I mean, it's a little cold, but that's why you use the douche. But if it was something where it was like maybe rough and kind of stuck and their little skin because it didn't have any slickness, then it was like, you know?
That sounds terrible. The whole...
Yeah, it wouldn't be pleasant.
I mean, I feel like, no. I reject that. I rebuke thee, demon. Oh my goodness. But anyway, just to quickly wrap that up.
Could you imagine though if one of those dudes lived and they go home to their wife and, honey, why is your dick so weird? Like, what happened?
According to the illustrated guide, some of them did live, but it didn't work out. They had to end up killing them because they couldn't.
So they didn't
keep the
live
secret.
Then. They just lived through the ordeal.
Through the ordeal.
So did they kill them during the ordeal?
That was my guess.
Wow.
Makes sense to me. The last two members are Carmen and Eleazar, who come in a little bit later. They are from 1700s Spain, which is cool. And Eleazar is formerly a part of the Volturi. He has the gift of being able to sense the type and strength of vampire gifts. So he can sense other people's gifts.
Were they in the movie? I don't remember them at all.
They might have been, but like briefly. Like they probably didn't have any role. They might have just been there in body, kind of like Esme. Yeah, so they were there, and Bella meets them and is super, what's the word?
Jealous?
Jealous, but also intimidated by them.
Because she is so insecure that even though she just freaking married the person, she's still like, this is a rival. She wants Edward, even though Edward doesn't want her. So I view her as an... Everybody, according to this world, wants Edward. So, except for Rosalie.
Yeah, which makes her iconic.
So why is Tanya the only one that gets to be like, this is my rival? Except for the fact that she's a vampire and she looks pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all in Bella's head because I don't think Tanya thinks that at all.
It's definitely all in Bella's head.
Yeah. But she goes through the motions. She says hello to everyone. They dance. She dances with other people. Edward messes with Mike. Angela catches the bouquet. But surprise, surprise, look who shows up in the middle of the wedding. Or the after party, I guess.
Reception.
The reception.
Yeah.
The reception.
Jacob. And they gotta have little babysitters and stuff.
And another fight. Over something.
Dumb as fuck. Like, really?
Literally.
It started off like a very sweet conversation. It starts off with him being like, hey, I know you were worried about me. We were friends, so I wanted to check on you and tell you
goodbye again.
I am here because you would want me to be here, and I'm trying to be good and happy for you. And on one hand, it's like, good, but yeah, he's apparently so emotional about it that he has to have his little bodyguards, people behind him, in case he blows up, which apparently was a good thing because he did blow up on her and freak out as soon as she started talking about her honeymoon.
Which, you're getting married. What's the next thing that happens after a marriage? You have to consummate the marriage.
Yeah, like what did he think was going to happen? They were just going to go hang out for the rest of their lives?
I think it's just these stupid fucking fights that she keeps doing. It literally feels like she takes the same tired shit over and over and just pastes it into the book. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Either that or literally, they're just so boring that they have to continue to have the same stupid ass fights over and over again. And Stephanie Myers must, think that's reasonable.
I understand
Yeah.
that Jacob is like, he thinks she's going to die. He perceives it as she's dying. And I get that. But we've already discussed the fact she's going to stick around, which, she's going to be here actually forever, by the way. But two, I realized when I was reading this that he's just as obsessed with her mortality as Edward is. And I don't know how I didn't put that together up to this point. I guess because he's less annoying about it for part of the series. But at this point in the series, he's just as insufferable as Edward is about her making her own choices.
Yeah.
And it actually was really pissing me off reading it. And Bella is not in the wrong here. He's a complete jackass for how he handles this whole conversation.
Oh, yeah, it pisses me off that later on, she's like, I should have known not to mention something like that. What was I thinking? This is all my fault.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up,
it's
bitch.
Not. Yeah, no.
He had a problem with common sense.
Yeah.
Anybody with 2 brain cells can you realize that once you get married, legally, technically, you have to consummate the marriage or you can have it annulled.
Yeah. Also, if he was really her friend and he really cared about her, he would ignore his feelings on the matter because she's made her decision and it's over with.
And it's her decision.
You have no say in the matter.
Yeah, it's her decision.
Yeah. And if you were her friend, you would swallow your fucking pride. At this point, everyone but you has accepted it.
Yeah.
I don't get why. I do, but I don't. It's just frustrating. But obviously, he has to be escorted off of the premises because he realizes that she's gonna fuck Edward, which is so funny to me. I love that he's like, "Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you."
I feel like she doesn't a lot of times know how to write just a basic scene with just dialogue that doesn't have to have any kind of big momentous thing. But I feel like she creates all of these. It's almost like every scene has to be momentous in some way. And it makes it to where nothing really is momentous. And it's tiring, honestly. And usually I'm big on dialogue. Like you've heard that complaint with Rebecca Yarros or even some for Sarah J. Maas. But the thing is, they do dialogue beautifully.
They do.
And they can build the action into it. They can build the momentum into it. It's wonderful. But for her, I would just rather have the action part of it because the dialogue is just insufferable.
And there's no action.
Which, by the way, and there's very little action. But he gets escorted off the premises.
The only thing that really stuck out, other than this fight about the reception, was me wondering when Edward threw up that cake.
He has to force it down. So at some point he has to get rid of that. I kind of forgot about that. But Alice is kind of adamant about them leaving on time. She's like, you guys have to go.
Okay.
I got so fucking tired of her.
I know. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but this is like wedding planner duty. There's a flight that has to be made.
I kind of felt the same way.
She needs to push that on them.
Money. They could get a private flight to wherever they need to go.
That's true. But I do think in the scenario, if this were like real life, you do want that girl on your side. That's like, okay, we have this to do. We have this to do. We have like your maid of honor is supposed to be the person that's like, chop, chop. Like you got to make this deadline.
Me, it read, or at least the way I read it was almost in a way of it. It needed to come down the way that Alice wanted it to go. Yeah. That it was how she wanted it and not necessarily that she was trying to make Bella's dream come true.
That's mostly the case.
I mean, it isn't Bella's dream, but Bella's dream is to have sex with her husband. So she is kind of pushing that on but they have to get to the place where they can have sex.
Call me crazy, but I feel like the bride should get a say.
Oh, I agree.
She has her honeymoon. Now, if she's like, I would love to go to an island, I just don't know which one or something, and then he does it based on that. But I don't know.
I get that.
I get that. Also, how crazy is it that when Alice tells Renee, I'll tell you where they're going once Bella's safely away? And how do you they're going to my family's private islands
To fuck
Yeah, for
in
real.
Carlisle and Esme's bed.
So you've never fucked in somebody else's bed, or
No,
Not my parents.
My boyfriend. Somebody's done it in my bed, which really pissed me off. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As someone who has fucked in too many places where other people have been, I apologize on the behalf of the rest of us.
I was really furious about that. So I've never done it to other people. I have, boyfriend's bed, my bed, hotel room, sure.
Yeah.
Not my friend's bed. I'm sorry. Not my parents' bed.
But that's the thing, too. But that would be like your parents saying, come fucking
Oh
our
my
bed.
God. Ugh.
Because they knew that's
is
where they
true.
were
Ew,
going.
you're so right.
So it was like,
Ew, you're so right.
and then later on, they're going to go and sleep there.
Oh my God.
Where their son had sex. It's creepy.
You're so right, and I didn't even think about that. Ew. Okay, but that's why it's problematic that Carlisle and Esme are his quote unquote parents, because they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
My thing, going back to what I was saying, is when you're Carlisle's age, a supposed age, believed age, it's okay to be like, we have a big house rich and we have nice cars rich, but how do you explain I own an island rich?
Yeah, because like doctors have money, but do they have that much money?
Yeah.
Like realistically?
But yeah,
I don't know.
I also thought the fact that they should have had their own getaway, not
But also
in their friend's house.
But also the craziest part is that Bella just is fine with him making all the decisions.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what is the crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
and as far as the traveling goes, they go from Forks to Houston to Rio de Janeiro. And I'm like, that's a lot of flying. That's 15 hours in the plane. Plus
That sounds awful.
Yeah, plus whatever layovers.
Yeah.
Plus whatever traveling to get to.
Then they have to get on a boat.
Yeah, to get to the dock. And she's got to eat at some point. And then they get on the boat.
have
And
to
she
hike.
thinks he's taking her to the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, she's like, are we going to fucking Atlantis? Like, what's happening?
We're fucking on this boat right now. Come on. Ugh.
Oh my God. Well, and after how many books is this for? After all of this shit, all the buildup, everything else, do we get a sex scene?
Not a one.
No.
Not a one. I fully believe
All we
he
get is
is so
bruises.
boring in bed.
I don't know though. She's got enough bruises. I mean, there had to be some
My
activity
thing is,
there.
the waking up with the room destroyed and all beat up and stuff did kind of also remind me of Christian Grey, and maybe that's where that inspiration of Christian Grey and his
I'm sure
came from. But literally he destroys the entire room. And I think I agree with Lily when you said that you think that he'd only be okay with missionary. So how the fuck did he destroy that room? I need to know. Like,
that's my thought as well. That's my thought. Because here's what I'm imagining, okay? Here's what I'm imagining. Because I did imagine, okay? So I'm imagining she's flat on her back, and he is, on top, like regular missionary, and he's throwing shit around them, tearing it up, biting it, and just tossing shit around.
He's like doing this.
Yeah.
So is she like, put it in?
No, he's thrusting at the same time. He's thrusting at the same time, but then he's like throwing shit around.
It's like a heavy metal concert or something.
Because he's trying not to like hurt her. But he's just like he's just so powerful. He just can't hold it in. He's gotta rip it. He's gotta rip the pillow. He's gotta rip a comforter. He's tossing it. And if you remember. If you remember in the movie, it's like everything is just everywhere.
Trash.
Was there a sex scene in the movie?
No.
But you get to see the aftermath.
It's just, that's what I imagine.
Oh my.
Although, technically in the movie, they start doing it in the ocean.
He's like, frenzy.
I don't even remember that, really?
Yeah, they start doing
like
it
they
in the
skinny
ocean.
dip. I don't remember them having sex in the ocean. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Really?
UTI Central.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my God, the salt water. Like, oh, I thought it was so hilarious for Edward to go skinny dipping, because I was like, what if the fishies don't know that and they just start nibbling on his dead body?
Brittany!
Well, or some of the sucker things can be like, well, this is a nice hard surface.
I am aghast. I'm not moving past that. Oh my God. I am not moving past that. The idea that because Edward is technically a corpse, the fishies start eating him is, oh my God, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
But the question is, does he like it?
Oh my God.
Them nibbling on his toes while he's like fucking her.
Oh, I wasn't thinking toes.
We're fucked up. We're fucked up. Do you think normal people think this way?
I think so.
No.
I think some people think the way that we think.
Somewhere, somebody in fucking Cheshire, UK, is listening to us say this shit and is like, these girls are fucking nuts. Australia, somewhere out there in the world, someone's listening to us and being like, I can't listen to this anymore.
But there's somebody else
like turning it off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know? Exactly.
Like, that's a great idea.
Thanks for saying it out loud.
Oh my God. No, that's forever going to haunt me. Thank you, Brittany.
The fish sticks.
My life has changed.
Those poor fishies.
Oh my God. Yeah, poor fish. Oh my God.
Oh, speaking of, and I know this is a weird time to bring it up, but can animals become vampires?
I don't know. I mean, I always wondered if the Quiute tribe could become a vampire. Do you think they could?
I think so.
I think they probably could. But would they still turn into wolves?
I don't know. I feel like
probably not.
I feel like they would probably lose that, but they might gain a special vampire power.
Yeah, I think it depends on the story, because aren't there some
theory.
vampire stories where the animals can turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
There's some shapeshifter stories as well where the shapeshifting ability is from a disease or a virus, and it gets humans and they can shapeshift into animals, but it also gets animals and they can shapeshift into humans.
Right.
But yeah, back to this destroyed room.
Yeah, so in fact, she still has to convince him to have sex with her.
Which,
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, she held up her end of the bargain. He needs to hold up his and stop bitching about it. And
then afterwards, she has to convince him again.
Well, yeah. Well, my thing for before they have sex is that Bella is literally portrayed as like the Eve that leads man to temptation and is going to corrupt man because it's all the woman's fault for tempting and corrupting men.
Yeah. I also feel like it's not good to set a precedent for a reader that you have to convince your partner to have sex with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
Don't get me wrong. Maybe in this case, it's a negotiation. It's not that he doesn't want to have sex with her, but it's like he's scared, whatever. You can make that argument. But I don't like the idea that he's being coerced in any way.
I had to laugh at his, like, the next morning when he tells her, look at yourself.
You laughed
at yourself, Bella, then tell me I'm not a monster. I'm like, wow, telling your new wife she looks like shit in the morning. I mean, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to call bullshit on the whole fucking bruises thing, because there were countless times in the other books where he drug her ass around, that he flung her from side to side like a rag doll, and yet she was okay and not completely bruised up. And now you're telling me that with like during sex, you somehow like, no, I think it's just complete bullshit.
Also, I walk into walls, doors, mailboxes, random things. I get bruises on me all the time. I don't even know they're there until I'm like, oh, my skin's yellow. And I don't feel it.
I mean, like, shit happens.
I don't feel it. And I know that hers are like supposedly purple or whatever, but it pisses me off that he's like, of course you're hurting. Don't lie to me. Literally woke up the day after he lost his virginity and called his wife a liar.
Yeah, what a great guy. Poor Bella has to pull out the lingerie.
Alice's
that Alice bought.
lingerie.
It's not her lingerie.
Alice bought it. It all had French tags on it. So it's never been used.
The way that they made it sound like it was Alice's, it was actually her lingerie for herself.
I didn't read it that way.
That
I didn't read it that way. I read it as Alice literally went shopping for Bella.
But I thought
for this
it
trip.
said in there that she borrowed it from Alice.
I don't think it did.
I don't recall that. I think Alice knew she was going on her honeymoon and bought her lingerie, but maybe it did say that. I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Huh. Okay. Well, that was what I had read it as, is that it was Alice's and that she was wearing her sister's lingerie.
No, that wouldn't be happening for me. I wouldn't even. I would need to buy my own.
At least that would make me feel better if that was the case, where she bought it for her. But still, come on. She's dressing her lingerie style to fuck her brother.
Just the idea of Alice even, or of anybody even knowing what kind of lingerie that I bought to screw my husband in.
And what your brother likes.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. I mean, my boyfriend they can buy me lingerie. I probably wouldn't like it, but whatever.
Yeah. Bella even bargains her humanity again. She's like, I could probably do like a year or like a semester of college. And he's like, wow.
Because she wanted sex. That's
really
all
sad.
She wants is sex.
Good for her, man.
And I think it's funny because when she finally said, I'll go to Dartmouth and you stay a human for a while. And he was like, for this?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is worth it to you? This?
So did you not have fun? What you trying to say, buddy?
I know, right? He's like,
and then and then he has to be like, no, I had a great time. Didn't you see the state of the room?
Yeah.
I was tossing shit. I was breaking shit. Obviously, I had a great time because that's how you show it.
By breaking shit.
Right? But
so do we think that this first time that they had sex was the Prego incident, or is it the next?
I do think so. I think it was the first time, because I think Stephenie Meyer has said in an interview somewhere, I could be wrong, but I think she has said somewhere that essentially the reason that Bella was able to get pregnant is that he had leftover semen, like stored in his body.
It's because he never jacked off as a human or a vampire.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
At the same...
For 100 years.
For 100 years, it was cryo frozen in his body.
I think that was a theory, though, but I don't think it's right, because there's that dude that we find out about in Brazil who's been making children for like 100 years.
True. But the point is that he still has some ability to.
If the only thing working is the venom.
Yeah, well, apparently for men, they get to keep
men are special.
Their semen
is just so strong and powerful.
It's just so.
Although apparently
incredible.
It's been altered by the venom.
If that's not the most clear, sexist,
patriarchal, whatever.
It's like politics of the body. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's my thing, though.
Laboring
with her,
women.
I think, is make a choice. Like, stick with the decision and carry it through, but stop changing it based on what you want,
right?
As an outcome,
right? And
it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
She needed them to have a baby because babies make life complete.
Because that's the final step. That's the final step to. Okay, so this is my thesis. This is my thesis for the whole series. So, and I might have mentioned this when we first started talking about Twilight. But I was talking to John about this. John is an ex-Mormon. He also studies Mormonism. He's a friend of mine. One of the things about the Mormon faith is they believe that there's a few things that you need to ascend into heaven. And some of those are, immortality, to live forever as a resurrected being. A perfected body after death is part of that. Eternal parenthood after death. And eternal marriage.
So those of us without children are going to hell?
Essentially, yes. By not furthering the fact that you have a family. you're not being,
What if
you're not a
somebody
perfect
dies on their
being after
fucking
death.
honeymoon?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's terrible things like that, but, you know, I'm sure they have a way to fucking explain it. But their idea of the 4 tenets of eternal life is immortality, a perfect body after death, eternal parenthood, and eternal marriage. And by the end of the series, Bella has done all of those things.
I can't get over
Just
the
saying.
eternal parenthood because
Yeah.
some women obviously cannot have children.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
It is
they
fucked
count
up.
adopted children. I don't know. We'll have to ask John because I don't know. I'm not a Mormon. But isn't that kind of insane?
It's really insane.
Kind of.
Can I count
Yeah.
my cats as my children?
I'm
I
going to say yes.
to.
They're my fur babies.
Yep.
And this is just something because couples are like sealed under God. You have to be sealed when you get married. And then I think your family is sealed with you when you're in eternal life after death. So, yeah. So Bella has now, once she becomes a vampire and has her baby, that's why it's so important, I think, to Stephanie Meyer, is it's like, these are the things that matter in life. Eternal life after death, you know, marriage.
But not being a good person.
and parenthood.
Not being a good person.
And,
Who cares if you're a good person?
hey,
Yeah.
that's not in the tenets.
You just have
Oh
to
my
get
God.
married and fuck and have a baby.
You still have to follow the Bible,
Yeah,
I
why
guess,
not?
but you know. But anyways, I just think that that's part of the crazy thing about this series is she's clearly it's clearly influenced so much of her writing that Bella's only other option was to have a baby.
Yeah, I'm good.
Which once you're reading this, the last chapters in this section, you start to realize that Bella's acting differently. She's eating a lot. She's sleeping a lot. And her behavior is totally different. Edward's out doing things and he's trying to wear her out so that they aren't having sex because he's a fucking freak.
Which
And
I have to say, going scuba diving on your honeymoon seems like a perfectly normal activity. And that lots of people do it. And I think that and I know that this was part of Edward's wear her out so we don't have to fuck later thing. But also Bella taking it as like, he's just doing this so he doesn't have to touch me. I was kind of like, don't you want to have fun on your honeymoon?
Do you want to do anything but have sex?
Anything else?
Like scuba diving is also just kind of cool.
I know, right? I would love to
Yeah,
go
but she has
scuba diving.
waited so long to board that popsicle,
God.
though. I mean, that's really what she was wanting her honeymoon to be. I don't think
Just-
she was expecting to
Just
get out of bed at all.
constant fucking the entire time.
That's what
Yep.
she expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ugh.
But she actually dreams about having a little boy that looks like Edward. And then when she wakes up, I think it's the next day. That's the day we find out that she's pregnant. And
Because she
Cora?
wakes up crying because she had a dream that she was having sex with Edward.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
she woke up, she wasn't having sex. So she cried. And I know that there are other things
Yeah.
that play into it. She's
Yeah.
pregnant and all. But oh my God, you cried because you're not having sex.
And then he has sex with her because he's like, you poor thing. I guess we have to now. Like, it's such a crazy first section
Yeah.
of the book.
Yeah. I can't remember how they pronounced her name. It was like Kaori or I don't know. In the
Cora,
audiobook.
Cora. I want to say like Cora.
Cora.
But it's
Is that the
spelled.
woman that was
Yeah,
working
yes.
for them? That's worked for them for how long and is now shocked?
Who knows?
That made no sense to
Well, maybe
me.
if they're never there, it's possible she's never seen them, but who knows?
Still.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? She might be a new person working for them. I really don't know. Her name is spelled Kaure. And she's so on to Edward. She's like, I know what you are. I know what you are, and you're going to want to kill her, and you're ruining her life. And he's like talking to her in her language, which I assume is Portuguese if they're off the coast of Rio de Janeiro.
They said it was
Could be Spanish.
She's part of some tribe, and he uses that language.
Okay, so it's neither, I guess. Yeah.
I thought I wrote it down, but apparently I did not.
Also, she tries to eat chicken, and she can't.
I
because-
wanted some fried chicken when I was reading this. And some eggs. I was like,
It wasn't
damn.
bloody enough for her.
Like blood?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the amount of eggs that she eats, I was like, are you trying to hit us over the head with the fact that she's pregnant?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Her baby only likes eggs. Nice runny eggs.
Or bloody food.
Or bloody food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I took it as, is like it was too cooked. Maybe
I'm
crazy.
Is there blood in eggs, though?
Well, not the eggs part, but there's a part where she's eating, I think it's like bacon, and she starts eating it when it's uncooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
Which should have been a red flag, Bella. But
yeah.
Once she realizes there is pandemonium, like Edward calls Carlisle, Alice calls immediately, Alice calls immediately, and then Edward's like, let me talk to Carlisle, I think is how it goes. Edward is in full panic mode. He stops moving. He's like, what? Like he doesn't even say a word. He's just like frozen in place because he's so freaked out.
My thing is, and I could be wrong because I've never had that big of a scare for this, but it's only been 5 days since her missed period.
Yeah.
My period has been so off sometimes that I'm like, oh, I didn't have one this month.
Yeah, same.
Well, but and mine was like that too before, but I think a lot of people's are a lot more regulated.
They're supposed to be.
5 days would be a huge indication that something was wrong. I think ours are.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be regulated.
Not.
To be fair to Bella.
I just thought maybe if it were like 2 weeks past your period or, more than just a few days, that's when I would have started freaking out rather than...
Well, what's crazy is she doesn't freak out at all. She doesn't freak out.
True. She's super like, oh, I guess I'm pregnant. I can deal with this. It's the same way that she did when she was attacked in Port Angeles. She's just like, yeah, that happened.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She's kind of obsessed immediately. She's kind of like, well,
I'm going to be a mom.
She's thinking of that little boy in her dream that looked like Edward. Which, by the way, she only really wants a little boy. And I always thought that was odd because she ends up having a little girl.
Yeah, so what does that say for her dream?
I don't know. I'm a little confused about that.
I honestly think that the dreams, how they're scarily accurate and yet, there's a little bit off so that there's some mystery in there or whatever. It's just lazy writing.
You're probably right. And at this point, I'm going to say her name is Cora. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but Kaure. At this point, she's checking on Bella because she has a feeling of what's going on and is like basically badgering Edward, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Edward's like, he's talking to her and she starts telling him of these legends of, I'm assuming, we don't know yet, but I'm assuming of like her baby is going to eat her alive is basically what she's telling Edward. And he's not telling Bella this. And he's like, it's just legends. And I'm like, so were you.
Shocking.
To Bella. You were a legend. Jacob was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
That means nothing. If she's warning you that this baby is going to kill her from the inside out, I would heed that warning.
Yeah. But also at the same time, it really pissed me off that Edward was just like, okay, we're going to get rid of it. Like, I've made the decision.
Immediately. Yeah.
You didn't even talk to Bella about it at all. You were just like, I've made the decision.
I mean, it's horrifying. That's his kid. But the fact that it's his child and he can so easily do that in that manner. Now, I could see if it was something of like, it's the child is going to kill you. Well, something like that. It is that. It's just like so.
Well, I think
brutal.
it is that. I think like he says it later. We haven't gotten to the part where we hear his thoughts because he just is so freaked out in this moment he won't talk to her. But I think the reasoning is you'll see he's like, it's going to kill her and it's not going to come out normal. And it's, like it's not meant to be born. It shouldn't happen.
It's a monster, just like me.
And it's going to eat her from the inside out. And he knows that. And he's like, I can't lose her.
I do think it needs to be said that Stephenie Meyer clearly believes that life begins at conception. And in this world, it is true that happens in this, again, fantasy world. And that we may talk about it in such a way as if that is true, but that does not reflect our personal beliefs. That just seems to be a rule of this world.
Yeah.
So
the second that they know about that baby, it's already too big. Bella's like showing the second that they find out because it grows so fast.
She talks to it and it bumps back.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
But, all right. Any other thoughts?
I think it's wonderful that she turns to Rosalie in this moment.
Yes. Yes. This is one of my favorite parts of the series, honestly. She realizes that Edward is not going to be on her side. And she's like, I need someone who is on my side. And she calls Rosalie, which is awesome. And you know what? It should have been very telling that she doesn't call Alice, who's supposedly her best friend.
Yeah.
Supposedly her best friend.
Yeah, because Alice doesn't give a shit about her. She'll only do what Edward wants.
But she knows that Rosalie will do what she wants because Rosalie loves children. And she's like,
right.
Rosalie's going to be on my side. So, any other thoughts?
Just that I am not looking forward to Jacob whining next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Into the Tribe a bit more, but that's possibly it. So, all right, we'll end it there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode. We'll be discussing Breaking Dawn chapters 8 through 18. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.